sit, relax. We're down to the final few days of Make Your Day Richer. I am your host, Michael Strahan. Do I look 41 in a day? Because I am. Yeah, it's my birthday yesterday. My guest is the kind of person who turns setbacks into stepping stones. Phebe Trotman is a Hall of Fame soccer player, award-winning entrepreneur, and the author behind the powerful book series Never Quit on a Bad Day. It's filled with real stories of resilience and practical tools to help you push through life's toughest moments. From heartbreak on the field to triumph in business, Phebe's journey is proof that perseverance, teamwork, and emotional grit can take you anywhere. She's not just a champion in sports, she's a champion for personal growth, helping others unlock their potential and live with joy. So if that sounds like a good show to you, click the like button, click the share button, and we'll start the show.
Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
Phebe, good morning, and thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Me too, because your whole motto is something that I have to remind myself of a lot. But I want to first say, and the motto is never quit on a bad day. And I think every day around here, I'm like, something goes wrong, a guest doesn't show up, something doesn't record correctly, there's audio. And so I'm always saying that to myself. It's like, okay, it's just a moment in time. But congratulations on your book. I want to start there. Never Quit on a Bad Day, Inspiring Stories of Resilience. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And it's been an incredible journey. And it's just one, I want more people to embrace that motto of never quitting on a bad day, because as you just said, every day, it's life, right? There's always going to be bumps and challenges and obstacles. And it's when we push through those that we really find our greatness.
It's true. Was being an author on your bingo card ever? Is that something you wanted to be as a kid, or what did you grow up wanting to be?
It's so funny. Growing up, I wanted to be an actress, a doctor, a lawyer. I had this long list of things. It's kind of funny. Entrepreneur and author was not on that list as a child. However, I've always been a person who's quite open to opportunities, and as life progresses and I have goals, and as long as those goals align with kind of the vehicle to get you there, that's kind of been something I've been open to. And so one of my passions and goals is really just to help inspire and educate and really help people along their own journeys of life. And so being an author was one way to do that. And it was kind of through a nudge of some friends. And I had wanted to create something to help inspire and encourage and motivate and teach and train. And I wasn't sure what. And they were the ones who suggested write a book. And again, being open, I was like, well, maybe. And then the more I sat with it and simmered on it, I realized what I wanted to share, and really the story behind the story, to encourage and inspire and help people realize you're not alone in your challenges. We all face them. They may not be in the same packaging. However, a challenge is a challenge. And how do we work through those, and just share some ideas and strategies that might help people work through their own challenges that they go through.
Who would you say that the book is for? Like you said, everybody has challenges, but is it for a specific, is it entrepreneurs? Is it who would it be for? Who should be reading the book?
Absolutely. And so just so you know, so there's actually, I released another book.
You have a series,
yes.
A
series, right? So there's 2 books in the series. The books are really for any person who has goals and dreams in life, and they want to pursue those. And the reason I say that is the first book features stories from thriving entrepreneurs. That being said, it's not a business book per se. And the second book features stories from accomplished athletes. And that being said, it's not a sports book. If someone goes into that book being like, well, what is my goal? And really in the first book, we talk about that, because there's so many people who have stopped dreaming and stopped setting goals. And so we do talk about that, and then apply the lessons to your own life. And it's really written in a way where at the end of every chapter, there's a section called Reflections on Resilience, which is really for the reader to think about their own life, their own journey, their experiences they've had in the past, what they want to create for their future. And they have a chance to answer some questions. So I always encourage people, put the lens on, even if the story isn't exactly what your story is. Think about a challenge you've had in your own life. How can you apply the lesson in that short story to your own life? So it's really a book for people who want to create more out of life, and you might be on top and wanting to stay there and you'll get some value there, or you may be going through kind of a challenging season in your life and you'll definitely get that inspiration and motivation, and knowing again that you're not alone in it, and here's a way that someone has worked through one of their challenges.
How did you get to this point in your life to live this way?
I think first of all, I'm so grateful for my parents. My parents have just been incredible role models and just lived their life in that way where, there's going to be bumps. They're big into personal development. They have strong faith. And I believe that they just passed on some of those nuggets, and then navigating through my own challenges and just learning from other people as an entrepreneur, and an athlete, a retired professional athlete. There was a lot of bumps in the road along my journey as a soccer player, and then transitioning into life as an entrepreneur. There's bumps in the road there, and then on a personal level, losing both my parents, like there has just been so many really tough stuff. And I realized that we can, and don't get me wrong, there's moments where I do want to just lay in the bed and pull the covers over my head and stay there all day. That being said, life is such a gift and it's so precious that we want to make the most of it. And so it's important to, yes, take the time where you want to lay in your bed, and also how do we move through that and get to the other side and keep going, because life is such a gift, and just to make the most of the opportunities that we have.
Yeah, that brings up the, sitting in the bed under the covers. I want to talk a little bit about that because I feel like there's such like a stigma around, like, well, just pick yourself up and keep going. You have to go through, and you're not allowed to, like, I don't know, feel sorry for yourself for 10 seconds, or you're not allowed to be like, well, crap. I just did a TikTok video the other day about, like, just everything went wrong in my show that day. And it wasn't the guest. The guest was perfect. It was me trying to do too many things at once. And it just, like, didn't work. And I was so mad at myself. And so I did a TikTok about it, about, like, the show really sucked today, and this is what I learned from it. And the response from that of other people being like, it's okay, like, good, take notes, keep it moving, and it's okay. And then everything was really fine in the grand scheme of things. But can we talk a little bit about that, of like allowing yourself to at least think, I want to quit?
Yeah, I think, well, we're humans, right? And one of the things that I think is such a gem that you shared, though, is even though everything went wrong, if you will, I'm using air quotes just because, wrong is a perspective. You said, but what can I learn from it? And I think that is the most important piece of it, because we're all going to have bumps. We're going to have those days where it's just like, really? Are you serious right now? Like, is this is happening, right? We're going to have those. It's how do you move through those? I think the other thing is, and a gem that you shared that I want to just pull, because allow yourself for 10 seconds. Now, it's not that time. Like, it's not like, okay, literally set the timer for 10 seconds, although sometimes you might need to do that. But again, how do you shorten it? And that's one of the things that I think is so key is, like, as I said, yeah, there's still moments like, it's been the last couple of years have been a very challenging, very, very challenging. And there's moments where I do just have to take a moment and step back. The key is, how quickly do you go back to go forward, if you will. So take that time, have that vent session, be real with your emotions, because I think we have to have those emotions to work through it. Because if you just discount it and it's like, it's fine. Well, is it? No, we're humans. We're allowed to have those emotional times where, we're frustrated. I think one of the key things is, who do you surround yourself with? Because you want the person who's going to be like, okay, Richard, you got 10 seconds, go, like, vent it out. Like,
get it all out now. Yeah.
Get it out, or whatever that time period is. And then you guys can work through it. And then you come up the other side and you're like, okay, now what that time limit, it depends, right? It depends where you are in your personal journey, depends how bad that tough or, rough that moment or day was. I think it's totally natural. And I encourage people to, you got to feel the emotions, feel them, work through them. If you have great support around you that will help you work through it, lean on them. If you need professional support, lean on professional support. Like, resources are out there. So tap into whatever you need to tap in. And I think the important part is, two of the things you said that are gems is, what can you learn from that situation? That's super important. And in some regards, like, take us some time and then move forward, right? That 10 seconds, or again, whatever that time limit is, if you will, to work through it and to come out.
Yeah, I think I just heard that there's like studies now that say it takes like 90 seconds for an emotion to like go through you. So like allow
Mhm.
yourself that 90 seconds to feel it. Don't try to do anything else but feel that emotion and then figure out how to move on from that.
Yeah, I think it's important because otherwise it's the emotion's gonna come out at some point in time, right? Like, it
Mhm.
will come out. Do you want to be intentional with the time when it comes out, and that's you with someone or on your own or however, or where a situation happens and that emotion comes out in not such a positive way, or you're lashing out because you haven't dealt with something, which
Yeah.
unfortunately can happen too.
What are you hearing from the people that have read the books?
Oh my gosh, it has been as you asked me, like, did I set out to be an author? And no, I didn't. And so having the feedback that I've had has just literally touched my heart, and it's helped me stay encouraged to just keep going. Again, as I shared, it's been a rough couple years. And so the feedback's been really positive. And one of the beautiful things is there's been people of all different backgrounds who've read the first book, The Thriving Entrepreneurs, people who weren't entrepreneurs, if you will, and they had positive things to say in terms of how it's applied to them. I've heard from people who had realized they stopped setting goals, who started setting goals and started dreaming again, which is amazing. People who have, had those tough moments and they've been able to apply some of the ideas and concepts in the books to their own life. And then the accomplished athletes, I've been hearing from parents who've been reading the book with their kids, and that just warms my heart. So, I just appreciate the feedback because it really to know that people are getting value, and that was really my goal with the books. Was it had to do two things when I decided to write it. I had to feel passionate about the subject and topic, which I do, and number two, it had to help and inspire people, and knowing that the books have done that, and it just, yeah, it keeps me going.
Mm. You were or are such a celebrated, award-winning athlete. You've had like an entire career of that. And I don't know how old you are, but you seem young. So it's not
Bless
like
your heart,
you're,
Richard. Bless
75
your
and
heart.
retiring. How was that like to quit, retire, and move on? Like, was that because I assume that sort of is your identity, right? And how do you balance this new life?
Absolutely. That's a great question. And I do actually talk about that transition into because when I did decide to retire from playing professional soccer, I share kind of the story behind it in the books. And one of the things I talk about is that the key is when you're going to, again, quit, if you will, I like to say transition, right? You're moving from one thing into something else. And the reason I decided at that moment of time, it wasn't after a bad game, it wasn't after a bad season. It really was, I felt this sense of peace because I knew I was transitioning as an entrepreneur, and I knew to create what the success I wanted to, I needed to focus on it. And I had had such an exceptional career. I played on amazing teams. I'm so grateful for my teammates and coaches, had a lot of success in that arena that I wanted to create something new. And, so playing professional soccer, like I missed a lot of family events, and that was what I chose to do at that time. And I realized in this next kind of chapter or season of life that I wanted to really be present for my friends and family. I wanted to build my life as an entrepreneur. I wanted to really, and I was excited about it. I think that's one of the things too is when you're going to quit, or like I like to say, transition forward into something else, you want to do it on a good day, if you will. You want to do it with, you'll feel a sense of peace. You are doing it because when you look forward with your life, like I realized that I would still play soccer. I wasn't quitting the sport. I was just
Right.
changing my direction in terms of my priorities, which really was life as an entrepreneur and just having that time for my family.
Mm. I think, well, I don't know if this is going to be my last question or if there's even a concrete answer to this, but you don't quit on a bad day. That's like the entire theme. As what happens if it feels like every day, if you're in a business, if you're a business owner, and there's always like you said, there's always something, but at what point are you like, maybe you think about transitioning because it's not working, or it's like, how do you decide to like what to do?
Absolutely. And this is the part that I talk about. At first, number one, it's a very personal decision, right?
Yeah.
It's something that every person needs to sit with. The key is I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing it when you're full of all the negative emotions, right? Oftentimes we quit stuff because we're frustrated, we're angry, we're disappointed, we're like, rah, pulling our hair out, whatever it might be. So if you're making a decision from, like, say, an entrepreneur or a lifestyle choice, like, I always encourage people, and there's an activity I talk about a little in the bit in the book about creating your dream day and writing it out in present tense and really locking in on it. And one of the reasons I think it's so valuable to do this activity is because if when you create your dream day and you write it all out, if what you're doing right now isn't moving you closer to your dream day, it may be time to pivot. Right? So if it doesn't align with your vision for yourself, your family, your future goals, what you want to create in your life, and you're doing something right now that's not taking you closer, it might be time to evaluate, right? And there are times, like, I've had different businesses along the years, and there were times where I realized, like, this isn't serving, like, it's not aligning with my vision for my future. Or at the time too, some of the leadership, like, things weren't aligning with who I was in my core, and I just realized it wasn't the right fit. Now, I didn't do it on a day where I was choked or angry or anything like that. I worked through that, and then you'll get to the other side. And sometimes too, you might have a business that you've hit the goals you wanted to achieve in that business or in whatever you're doing, and it's like, you know what, I'm looking for the next challenge. I want to continue to grow and learn, and so it might be time to move forward, if you will. So I do kind of outline some things to consider. Those are some of them, just because it is really ultimately, though, a very personal decision and something you just have to kind of, in that way, I say look forward to decide what you're going to do present, because everything we do now is either taking us closer to living our dream day or away. And you want to start doing stuff right now in the present that's going to help you move closer to having that dream day.
Well, that's a good answer. Thank you for that. What do you love most about your life right now?
What do I love most about my life right now? I'm just so grateful. Again, it's been a rough go, but there's been so many things to just be grateful for and to hold on to. And so I'm excited about the books. I'm excited about the people it's touching. I'm grateful to have the time to kind of process everything that's happened over the last couple of years, and sort of taking a little bit of more Phoebe time to be like, okay, this was a roller, it's been a rough go. And so having that time, I'm so grateful to just have the time to really process everything and work through those emotions and really decide, okay, what's next that's leading me closer to that dream day. So
That's awesome. What is the best way that people can connect with you and find you out there in the world?
absolutely. So very easy to remember, because my website is neverquitonabadday.com. And then you can find me on Instagram, Facebook as well. Same handle, Never Quit on a Bad Day.
Okay, good. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you. This has been great. You're a lot of fun to connect with. So I just appreciate your energy, love what you're doing to keep, just motivating and inspiring people. I think the
Yes.
more we lean on each other, the more we can all continue to grow.
100%. Come back anytime you want.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take a break and be right back after this. Don't go away. Life is difficult. Are you feeling overwhelmed or like you could use a little support for your mental well-being? Visit the Help Hub. It's the most comprehensive and inclusive free online destination for mental health resources, helpful tools, crisis hotlines, and supportive content. Just go to thehelphub.co to find the resources you need when you need them most. Unlike other resource pages, the Help Hub is divided into 16 different categories, ensuring that everyone in every community has access to the resources and support that matches their unique needs. Find the help you're looking for at thehelphub.co. Welcome back. I had a fantastic birthday yesterday. I met a bunch of people at a networking event. I had a great show yesterday. All the phone calls, text messages, people watching the show and commenting, the gifts. It was a great day yesterday. So thank you everyone for making me feel amazing for 41. In this package right here is the first step in the set design for Gorilla HR, the podcast that starts filming in this studio next week. Friday is our last show for the season. And we've got some podcasts that are going to be moving in here to film, which is very exciting. This is what I always wanted. And this is the first step. And you're going to watch that transformation happen. We'll be doing that throughout the rest of the summer. So you can see that. Gorilla HR, the podcast, HR, Human Resources, has a new episode out this week. Take a look.
So let's talk about what is a living wage. A living wage is what it takes for a person to get paid in order to be able to comfortably sustain their life. So when we think about that, a couple parts go into it. One is the cost of living. The cost of living is what it takes to buy groceries, pay your rent, childcare, healthcare, all those different things that go into surviving day-to-day life go into that cost of living. That has nothing to do with wages. Sadly, in a lot of places, that's that. They're not connected. They don't go together. We do sometimes see some trailing trends when it comes to labor, but in general, think about cost of living is one thing and cost of labor is something else. So cost of labor is what it takes, again, to get somebody in the door. What do we have to pay for that job in order to get somebody to do it?
You can learn more about Becky and Gorilla HR at gorilla-hr.com. And if you want help with your podcast and you need a space to record your podcast, send me an email at makeyourdayricher@gmail.com. We'll get you hooked up. You don't have to be in the carnival. You can be wherever you want to be. And we'll show you what's happening here. No green screens. All real stuff. All right, go make your day richer. Go make somebody else's day richer. You've made mine by watching this show, and I love you for it. We will see you tomorrow. 2 more shows. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.